I would show you how I do a distance Reiki session. I just finished one with a girl in Maryland. I live in Los Angeles. And during the session, I was inspired to make a video to show people how I do this. Now, every Reiki practitioner may do these differently. This is just how I found that it works. Justine, health coach, nutritionist, intuitive Reiki master, and author of the book Lose Your Inches Without Losing Your Mind. I empower people to transform themselves in mind, body, and spirit. Today's video is about how do I do a distance Reiki session and how in the world does this work. So, Reiki, for those of you that don't know, has been around since the 1800s. It was discovered by a man in Japan, and it means universal life force energy. So as a Reiki master and Reiki practitioner, basically I tune in to this frequency of Reiki. I'll turn on my Reiki and I'll transmit the energy from my hand to the recipient. So it's not me doing the healing, it's not me doing the clearing. I'm merely a conduit that tunes into a frequency and helps the participant. So how I do my sessions is, everyone does it differently. So I'll lay out a yoga mat, and I like to have different stones or sort of markings of where each chakra is. There's 7 major chakras. There's a whole bunch of others, but 7 main ones that most people know about and work with. So we have the crown, the third eye, the throat, the heart, solar plexus, sacral, and the root chakra. Now these little things, for those of you that do Reiki, I found them on Amazon. They have all the little symbols on them. They were really cheap. So it's really not about what you're using. It's more about, in my case, like marking where I would envision the person laying here. So I just finished a session with a girl who's on the other side of the country. She totally felt the energy. I mean, I've done probably over 100 of these. Every single person feels something every single time. They always have epiphanies. I'll get intuitive messages on my end, and it's basically like spiritual life coaching, and it can also help with physical healing. A Reiki practitioner's hands have been measured on a scientific level that when we're doing sessions, the energy transmitted is about 7 to 10 hertz, which is equivalent to that of physical healing. So this all can be measured on a scientific level. Anywho, so what I'll do is I'll turn on my Reiki, and then they'll tell me what their intentions are for the session. So I'll write down what those are, so we're in alignment that way. And then I'll do my normal Reiki session. I'll hold my hands over the part of the person's body that wants to receive it. If anything comes through, I jot it down. And also right before a session, I'll get like sort of inspired thoughts about what kind of wants to be there. So maybe it's certain crystals, like this beautiful amethyst heart that I got in Australia, wanted to be here. This is really good for just peace and just tranquility and really the crown chakra. Selenite is a really great crystal. It's really good for clearing. I have selenite in pretty much all the time for all of my sessions. This I just got in Sedona. This is fluorite. This is for master healing. And this is a rock that I got in Sedona in the shape of a heart. It was actually given to me by a man that just gives out hearts for free just to spread love. It was really beautiful. So sometimes like different things want to be present during a person's session. I might light a candle. And in terms of crystals, like there's nothing weird about them. And I'll do a whole video series on what different crystals mean and how they can be useful. So basically, I mean, they're constructed under high heat and pressure in the earth, and they become these beautiful, beautiful things. But they have their own frequency, and each one is a stable frequency. So the reason why people like crystals is because our frequency is constantly changing with our thoughts and our emotions and whatever. I mean, we're all over the place. So by having certain crystals near you, on a scientific level, the frequencies will align. That's why sometimes you'll feel inspired to have a certain crystal on you or a certain stone. It literally helps to balance you out to kind of like align your frequencies with what that is resonating. So anyway, side note. So anyway, I'll do my Reiki and then we'll chat on the phone right beforehand. I'll ask him or her to set a timer, then we'll hang up. I'll do the session. So they're in their home, wherever they are in the world. And then after about 30 or 40 minutes, depending on the time of the session they booked, then we'll chat on the phone afterwards and talk about how it went, how they're feeling, anything that they felt, anything that came through, and all of that. And one thing that I also like to do during a session is I got this little pendulum. You can use a necklace. I mean, you don't have to use an actual pendulum. I got this in Sedona because I thought it was pretty. So what I'll do during the session and after is, so each chakra, they're an energetic center. They go through each, like the front and the back of us, and they'll spin in a clockwise motion. So it's sort of like this cone. And so if they're not balanced or a little clogged or just not flowing the way that they should be, the pendulum basically won't move. Like I'll intuitively know where to go, but I just kind of use this as a fun tool. So if I pretended a person was in front of me and I held, I'm going to pretend that she's really balanced, right? So it'll literally start to spin on its own. I'm not moving my arm. It's totally going by itself. So right now it's in a clockwise motion. So if it was going in a counterclockwise motion or sort of like sideways or backwards, then I'll know to spend extra time there. But I'll just give you an example at the completion of the session. Like at first, like some were sort of backwards, some were good, some were like not moving. And at the end, I merely will hold the pendulum over, again, said pretend person. So all of this is by intention, right? And I'll just make sure that each chakra is spinning correctly. Why is this working right now? Because my intention is that it mimic what just happened during the previous session. My arm is not moving. I'll do a whole other video on pendulums and why this is working. Again, it's not woo, it's simply energy. Everything is energy. You can have your aura measured. You can have a photo taken of it. You can see the different colors of your aura. Everything can be measured on a scientific level, so it's really not that weird. It's just freaking cool, and I'm so glad that I've been able to do this. So I hope this gave a little bit of clarity of how a distance session can be done and what's going on my end when we're on the phone and and you're chilling out in your bed or on your couch and you're having your session. But the really great thing about this modality is that it really helps people, again, on a like a cellular level, on an energetic level, on an emotional level. It helps to clear stuff out. I've had sessions where people, they're just laying there, you know, in person, and they just start crying for no reason. It's because an emotion was stuck in their body, and it literally just helps it to come out, and you feel like lighter and better, and you just realize that, you know, all these thoughts in our head, it's just like jumbled cobwebs. We just gotta like clear it out every so often and just remember who we are. We're this peaceful soul in this human body having this earthly experience. So if you would like to book a distance Reiki session with me, you can go to my website at happyhealthypeople.com. I do half-hour and 1-hour sessions. And also if you happen to be in the LA area, I also do certifications, Reiki 1 and 2. If they want 3 and 4, I can do that as well. But I have some coming up in October, so you can sign up for that. Again, happyhealthypeople.com. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.